has 2, right? Yeah, we're trying to get more than that. Somewhere in the settings, you can put it up to 49.
But we can scroll through the.
Yeah, this is what they can show now. You have everybody, you have what you have to.
So maybe we want just the folks who are on camera, actually. Could you go back and put it to just folks that are hide non-video participants? Yeah, okay, that's good. Thank you so much.
They can hear you now?
Can you all hear us?
Yes.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
All right, well, thank you for your patience this morning. We're getting our technical elements figured out. I am going to introduce myself. I'm Alita Berger, person who's been emailing you nonstop through this process. I'm a director in the funding and resource planning team at the coordinating board. And I'll let Andrew introduce himself and Ms. Garcia.
Good morning. I'm Andrew Lofters. I remember many of you from last session. I'm a director in academic and health affairs, and I'll be assisting the leader through this process today. Good morning. Dr. Garcia.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Sandra Garcia with the University of Texas San Antonio, and I'm here representing our committee today. So good luck to everyone. So it's great to see your faces again.
All right, thank you all. Can you all hear us well enough? Okay. So this process, I'm sorry, I think we're going to begin with kind of an overview of the process that we've gone through to get this far. So I'm going to try and share my screen. Let's see. All right, well, we've started, so let's go. All right, so for this open meeting, here are sort of the parameters. We would ask that you'll not have sidebar conversations in the chat. Also, if you're going to speak, please identify yourself for the record. It is live streaming on YouTube. This meeting is. Please state your name and what your decision would be if we vote verbally that way. Make sure your video feed is on if you're a committee representative. You can include your name if you haven't already. It would be helpful to put your first name, last name, and your institution acronym. Many of you already have done that. And then when we're doing roll call, please unmute yourself. And we'll do that in just a moment. So here's our agenda. We'll do some opening remarks, then we can discuss the process, which is kind of what we're doing now. Then moving to considering and potentially acting on awards that were less than 250,000, and followed by the awards over 250,000, and then adjourning. So in regards to the process, you'll recall that you've posted or sent us in your awards. We posted them on the transparency list. And then you went in and marked whether you believe.
That's Leonela, is it? No, Leonela's areas? Or Houston?
Houston and stuff.
And it's
That's
like-
Houston, that's right.
Mhm.
But anyway, so we
Could whoever's speaking mute their microphone, please? Unless you have a question, we're welcome. That's welcome, of course. So you marked whether they were questionable or not, and then you provided some responses to those question awards, and we sent those responses out. And then you received the survey to try to develop some consensus prior to the meeting. You've uploaded additional documentation to the transparency list. And today we'll have a panel consideration with a vote on the acceptability of awards. In addition, I think last time there was reporting of additional awards for next year. I'm not quite sure if that will be part of the process today. So there's two categories of awards, one being under 250,000. And the committee has discretion on how to handle those. The awards that are over 250,000, according to the SAM's rules, the committee will consider those individually. Based on the survey results, we may be able to take a more holistic approach on how to handle those. And please let us know any time constraints that you're dealing with, so we can do our best to meet your needs. Okay, so those are the two additional items. Any questions at this point? Feel free to unmute your mic. So I'm gonna go ahead and take roll. So when I call the university, I have your name already, so I'll just do that. And you can let me know if you're here. For UT Rio Grande Valley, Dr. Thomas Spencer.
Present.
Great. UT Permian Basin, Timothy Pierce. Great. And UT Tyler, Dr. Carlo Reichard.
Awesome.
Texas A&M University at Galveston, Patty Gonzalez. Don't see Patty unless I'm missing her. I think she said she might not be able to make all 3 days.
Yeah.
So we have Prairie View A&M, Bobby Melvin. Are you here, Mr. Melvin?
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear that last response.
Maybe that was someone speaking with their mic. Okay. Tarleton State, Nelly DiCiccio. I pronounced that correctly?
Yes, it's the CCO, but Dr. Ayer will be our speaker for today.
The CCO, okay, and Dr. Ayer, okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Texas A&M University, Central Texas, Dr. Walter Murphy.
All present.
I think so. We got it. Let's see.
Hello? Can you hear us now? There we go.
Yes.
All right.
All right, that was Texas A&M, Corpus Christi, Janet Donaldson.
Good morning.
Oh, there you are. Good morning. All right, Texas A&M, Kingsville, Jose Espiritu.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. Texas A&M, San Antonio. Anyone from San Antonio?
Yep, Patricia Zebluck here.
Okay, great. Thank you. And Texas A&M International University, Dr. John Kilburn.
Good morning.
Good morning. All right, West Texas A&M University, Teresa Clemens.
Present.
Great.
Soyla Franco for Texas A&M International.
Someone else from Texas A&M International, is that what I heard?
I've got to travel, so she's going to be covering for some of my stuff. I just got a trip booked, so she'll probably be talking more than me, but I was the name that we put in. Sorry about that.
Gotcha. Okay, great. I see. Thank you. Texas A&M University of Commerce, Brent Donham.
Present. Good morning.
Good morning, thank you. Do we have anyone from Texas A&M Texarkana? Anyone from University of Houston Clear Lake? No? All right, University of Houston Downtown, Shannon Teasley McNichols. Okay. University of Houston Victoria. All right.
Present.
Oh, sorry about that. I went too quickly. Who was that?
It's Angela Hartman with the University of Houston, Victoria. I was having technical difficulties. I had to leave and then enter the meeting again.
Okay, gotcha. No worries.
Thank you.
All right, do we have Midwestern State University Brittany Norman?
Present.
Great, thank you. University of North Texas at Dallas, Alicia Brissett. Do we have Stephen F. Austin, Jennifer Hanlon Patterson? Stephen F. Austin. Okay. Texas Southern University. Anyone from Texas Southern?
Dana Brown.
Okay, thank you. Angelo State University, Katie Plum.
Present.
Welcome, thank you. Texas Women's University, Holly Hanson Thomas.
Present. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Lamar University, Ryan Lee.
Present.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Do we have anyone from Sam Houston State? Sam Houston State, okay. And Sol Ross State. Anyone from Sol Ross State University? University of Texas at Arlington.
Hi, Sarah Penapinto, present.
Good morning, thank you. Okay, University of Texas at Dallas.
Hello, good morning. It's Emily Lacey.
Good morning. University of Texas El Paso, Manuela Doki.
Oh, she's not where she is.
You're on mute.
Present. Thank you. Good morning, everyone.
Okay, University of Texas San Antonio, Ms. Garcia. All right, University of Houston, Chris Milligan.
Present. Good morning.
Good morning. University of North Texas, Emily Losi.
Good morning.
Good morning. And Texas Tech, is it Cui Roma?
And it is, and I'm present.
Great, thank you. And Texas State University, Dr. Amy Roundtree.
Present.
Good morning.
Morning.
Okay, I'm going to come back just one more time to the ones who weren't here. Texas A&M Galveston, Patty Gonzalez. Texas A&M Galveston. Okay. Prairie View A&M, Bobby Melvin. Okay. And then Texas A&M Texarkana. Okay, University of Houston Clear Lake. University of Houston Downtown, Shannon Teasley McNichols. University of North Texas, Alicia Brissett. All right, we have Stephen F. Austin, Jennifer Hanlon Patterson. couple more. Sam Houston State, I think I saw a message that they had to redo their Zoom.
Yeah, that's me, Brian Loft, Sam Houston State. Good morning, I'm here.
Good morning, okay. And Sol Ross State,
Yes, Brett Siebert here for Sol Ross.
great, thank you. All right. Got a record of everyone who's here, thank y'all. I don't know, Ms. Garcia, if you have any thoughts about how to approach, but our agenda had us beginning with the under 250,000 awards. Because you have discretion on how to handle those, you know, we could begin with a kind of conversation about whether you want to approve certain awards, you know, based on the fact that they've been voted on. I was gonna try to pull up my recent communication on that. You're welcome to unmute yourself if you want to, you know, begin a discussion of it, but.
Are you
Go-
talking about the Qualtrics matrix that came in
Yes.
last night?
Yes,
Well-
and so in the past, we have gone with the, if there is a majority of the vote, we have gone ahead and accepted those at onset of the meeting, just as the essence of time. So I think if the majority has been acceptable, then we don't have to take action on them unless someone's really wanting to discuss it. But at this point, I think I would recommend that we go forward on that recommendation.
This is Chris Milligan from the University of Houston. I support that and suggest that make the motion that we go ahead and accept those that by a majority have already
I don't
been
know
marked
if
as.
you need a second.
I heard Chris Milligan made the motion for that, didn't hear the second.
Amy Roundtree, Texas State seconded, but others can as well if they see fit.
Enthusiastic support.
Second, yeah.
Gotcha.
Did, I
So,
heard it.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I third the motion.
Oh, okay.
Nikki,
Um,
Manuela.
if we would like to make the question, call the question, if we would like to vote, you have your screen up, for us to take the vote for consensus. So this, right now, we're just looking, if you don't mind.
Well, do we want to, so they're talking about just the awards that were deemed acceptable under 250, right?
Right now, okay. Well, we used it for both, but you can.
Right, so do we want to also say that the ones that are not RRE according to the survey would also be voted as not restricted? That makes sense.
We'll have a discussion on those.
Okay.
We'll open up for discussion. And a revote.
So it was what, 28 was the total number of votes, right?
In terms of-
28.
Yes, there are 28 survey responses. So 15 was the majority, and the ones that were highlighted in green met that threshold. So it sounds like, do we take a vote?
So we have a motion on the floor to accept the majority, which would be a 15 count of those that have it, marked them as restricted research. We have a motion and a second. If you are voting, please have your screen showing so that we can count you, make sure that I can see your screen. Thank you. All those in favor, would you use your reaction sign with your hand to vote yes?
Where's the hand?
It's up at the top where you see reactions. It should be, you know, I should.
It's in reactions.
Little smiley guy with the little plus and says reaction. Sometimes it's top, sometimes it's bottom of Zoom.
Yeah, it's at
Got
the
it.
bottom. I'm sorry, it's at the bottom. Yes, put your little hand up, and that makes it a little bit easier for us right here. I can see everything.
Got it.
Those that don't have your reaction hand up, if you would raise your hand so I can see, I have most of them up. All right. Okay, All right, any opposed? If you're all right, and if you're opposed, all those that are not opposed, please bring down your sign. Okay, there's one down. Manuela, you're not, are you in opposition? I think you were emphatically for it.
So did
All right.
a few folks didn't vote.
There was, yeah, I didn't see that, any abstain?
Are some folks not voting?
Let's try this one more time. I'm sorry. I'm gonna do it one more time. For all those that are in favor, please put up your reaction sign with the hand, please. You got that, get that. Good. There we go. Yeah, scroll to the next one, because we have two. Keep them up just for a moment.
You want me to?
Oh, it's probably just one through. Okay, we're good.
So it's
Brian Loft, are you in agreement?
Yes, I voted yes. My hand
Okay,
was up.
good. All right, you can put all your hands down now. Any opposed now will put their hands up. And I think if I was recalling, do we have any? All right. Mr. Kilburn, are you opposed or you just leave? Yeah, there you go. Good to go. All right, that did it that time. Unanimous.
okay. We want to discuss next the not RRE awards and decide that they would not be accepted if that were the case. Yes.
Yes, okay.
I make a motion that any of the ones that were majority not RRE, that those be with deemed such, and we move on from there.
Second,
Second, third.
That was Ms. Plum and
Chris
Second.
Milligan.
Chris Milligan.
Well, no, I don't agree with that because we had one that was deemed not already, but it's a gift. And so I have the donor's letter, so I would like to, at the time that it comes up, discuss it.
so we could exclude that award from this vote? Is that what you're proposing?
We had opportunity to upload stuff, guys. We've got 160 plus other awards to get through in 3 days. This is.
I did upload it.
I'm
And what
okay
happens
with-
is they asked the question, was this a duplicate? And I said, no, in my response. It's not a duplicate. It was a award for FY22 and FY23. And because I didn't go into the explanation, explaining it as a research donor, because I just answered the question. But I have the letter in the abstract that was there. I uploaded it when it was requested.
Would it be helpful for us to try to bring that letter up?
Manuela, you're on mute.
Muted.
Thank you. How about, we have one that I want to argue as well, that is automatically that was coded, not research, right? How many other institutions are looking at the matrix and find that they want to have 1 or 2 of the arguments available? This way it saves time, not going over all of them, but allow each institution to challenge 1 or 2 of those that are marked not research, but we can defend it.
So is your question, how many universities have items that were not RRE, but that would like to discuss them?
Yeah, at least 1 or 2.
Okay,
Could we split the difference on that, Manuela, and not do that with the stuff under 250 and only with over 250? Because again, there's just too much stuff, and the stuff under 250, frankly, that's just not enough money to spend this much time.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
I agree with that as well.
Under 250, we don't.
So what we're saying, if I'm hearing correctly, under 250, if it has majority of not restricted research, we're gonna leave it the way it is. Over 250, we can discuss. Did I hear that correctly?
This
Yes,
is,
You're in agreement.
I have a question. This is Holly Hanson Thomas from Texas Women's. Are we talking about the ones that were deemed not, or not the ones in the middle undecided, right? Got it. Thanks.
It sounds like the ones that are undecided, we will discuss.
Yeah, okay, thanks.
The ones that have been accepted as RRE will remain RRE. It is only the ones that have been by vote or by like the numbers deemed still questionable or not RRE that we will discuss or have the option of discussing. And I agree that we should in the above 250 bracket. I think that's an important thing to do.
So, Ms. Plum, do you want to amend your motion?
Sure. For all those deemed not RRE by majority in the Qualtrics survey, under 250, we deem them not RRE, and then we move on to further discussion.
Second.
Second by Chris Milligan.
I don't like it because one of mine is under 250, but I'll accept the motion.
We have a motion and it's been properly seconded. Do we have any other unrest? All right, please, if you would, all those in favor, please show your hands with the reaction sign. Yeah, well, yeah, that's what I think I did last time. All right, it seems to be unanimous, thank you. But Dr. Hartman, Angela Hartman, I'm sorry, I saw are you in favor? Yes, gotcha, all right. You had a good point, if you want, I will bring that up.
Yes, we were just suggesting that folks who are voting no, perhaps hold your hand up this time. Is anyone voting no? And Mr. Kilburn, I assume you were voting yes, and your hand is still up. That's fine. Okay.
Okay, that's good.
Low
All
with,
right, looks like it was unanimous.
So what we did do last time was when we did a question, we said, does anyone who did not? Well, I'll just say, let me say that. From the last session, when we went through the votes, if we had some kind of question and we need to discuss, after discussion, we said, does anyone not think that the certain award was restricted research? If it wasn't restricted research, then we went to a roll call vote or went to a vote so that we could see, is that still acceptable to the committee? So we would look at, we have yes. So that's what we'll do. We'll start when we go to the discussion. Does anyone think this is not restricted research? And that will start the conversation. All right.
So I would begin perhaps by walking through the spreadsheet of the undecided under 250. Unless there's another approach. So, okay. I'm going to share my screen. One moment again. Okay, so I believe item number 3 here for Lamar University, you can see the votes, 12 acceptable, 9 undecided, and 7 not. For award number 141913. Do we have Lamar?
Yes, Lamar University.
Hi, this is Ryan Lee from Lamar University. I'm sorry, let me pull it up real quick.
So you can see the order that we'll approach these, Midwestern would be next, UNT. If you can try to think about pulling up documents that you might need.
So these are both very similar. They're both curriculum development. One of them is in partnership with an industrial partner, AT&T, to develop STEM programming for local schools. And this is going to use research methods to develop curriculum and then publish that curriculum. And The other one for Robert Spina is very similar, but it's in partnership with the coordinating board to develop curricular resources, instructional design, and then publish that curriculum.
And so we have now heard from Lamar University's representative. One question for Lamar, are you referring to all 14.1907 through 14.1918? Because I usually take them one at a time, but.
Yeah, I mean, we can take them one at a time. They're both very similar, and I was just speaking to both of them. Is they have different sponsors and different specific targets, but in general, they're both SAM's 1.3.1 curriculum development.
Yes.
The acceptable, so those.
There's only two.
Right, this those two, you're right.
Okay. Are there any additional questions here on these items?
Where is the research? Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Kate.
I was just going to ask where the research piece is on these. Is there an IRB plan for that? And then my concern with the educator planning grant, those were those GERF funds. Majority of institutions were using those just to improve their educational program. So I'd want to see something more substantive that shows that it's actually research.
As far as I know, there is no IRB in place for either one. And the research, let me speak to 141.913 first. The research is really in in STEM programming, targeting high need students, really specifically with robotics. So the research in developing that curriculum and then deploying it in our local school districts. The 141.918 with Robert Spina. You are correct, it's those HERF funds, and I'm not sure I have anything further to provide for that at this time.
I think we need to take one project at a time.
Yes.
Sure.
And so
I
we can
apologize.
put on that, but did you load any abstract or any information to the database? I mean, to the portal?
No, I don't believe so.
I see.
So I guess for the first one, my overall arching concern is where is the data collection, the evaluation, the dissemination, and the publication? I mean, I agree it's curriculum development, but it's the R&E portion that makes it applicable for restricted research. And so I'm not hearing or seeing where that part of it is. I get the fact that it's curriculum development, but it's that portion that makes it this, and that doesn't seem to be, or that seems to be lacking.
Yeah, I agree with you. Unfortunately, I don't have those materials at the moment, so I wouldn't be able to elaborate any further.
Is there a way that you can come back to us at the end if you can get those?
Yeah, I'll try to get those materials.
So I move that we table this until he can get the materials to allow him that opportunity.
I second that.
A motion from, who was the motion? Chris Miller. And second
Seconded
by,
by Katie.
so we have a motion and a second to table the Lamar University awards numbers 141.913 and 141.918 until a later part of the transparency meeting, until we can get some additional materials submitted. Anybody have any question? All those in favor? You have to pull down your screen.
Can they just have a nay? They just say nay.
We can do that. I will say it this way. I'm sorry. Let's do it this way. We're going to, is any opposed? Any opposed? If there's no one opposed, then I will. If there is an opposition, please say so, and then we'll have a roll call vote. Since there's no opposition, we will consider that being accepted. So Lamar University for 141,913 and 141,918, we will table yours until you get some additional materials.
Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew. All right, so we'll move on to 141,922 Midwestern State University.
Hi, this is Brittany Norman from Midwestern State University. This is our Welch Foundation departmental grants, and according to these sponsor guidelines, the purpose of this grant program is to support research in chemistry and closely related fields by departmental faculty members and provide an opportunity for students to gain experience in laboratory research. This has been previously approved by the committee, and I will try to answer any questions that you might have.
Wells, it supports only research, so. The Welch Foundation. So I make a motion to accept this as research.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second for Midwestern University 141,922. Is there anyone that does not believe this is restricted research?
No, the first sentence of Welch Foundation departmental grant supports research in chemistry and closely related fields by department faculty members. It's from their website.
So that was in support.
Yes.
Great. Any opposed?
Any opposed? Hearing none, Midwestern award 141,922 is restricted research. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right, we'll move on to University of North Texas, award 142,010.
Yes, both of these, so 2010 and 2024, these were both questioned, notating that it appeared to be duplicate. So this is a single award that we just internally at UNT have designated in two separate accounts, which is why it was notated as duplicate. So it's not necessarily duplicate, it's a single award that is in two internal accounts at UNT. This is a Department of Defense award. It's U.S. Army Research Laboratory. It's been previously approved. It's additional funding from an award that we've had since 2018. And I'm happy to share additional details if needed.
I move to approve.
I second Holly Hansen Thomas.
Agree.
So those just need to be, combined. The total just needs to be combined into one or left as two separate.
Well, we could amend the motion to approve both 010 and 024. That's acceptable.
Thank you.
Only thing we'd have to do is possibly move it to the 350 above 250 category.
Right.
Since it's under 250. Since if you were to combine them into one award, I think that I agree they would have to be moved to the above 250. So I would suggest that we take both awards on a separate vote.
Okay.
So for University of North Texas 142,010, is there anyone that does not believe this is restricted research?
Well, just because it is from the DoD, what is the context of the research?
So it's SAM 1.1.1. They are collaborating and developing advanced manufacturing technologies to create lightweight metal and ceramic materials that display superior performance, sustain large deformation rates, and support adaptive and responsive functionalities of future Army systems.
Yeah.
So again, I don't get the sense it was questioned based on the scope. It was questioned notating. The only question was that it appeared to be duplicate.
I didn't realize that. So thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Since we had answered that question, does anyone not believe this is restricted research? All right, hearing none, 142010, University of North Texas, be considered restricted research. University of North Texas, 142024. Once again, we've heard the explanation from University of North Texas. Does anyone not believe this is restricted research? Hearing none. University of North Texas, 142024, it will be considered restricted research.
All right, we could move forward to 142040.
All right, so this is, again, very similar to what just happened. So Dr. Skellum, she has a Keck Foundation Award that we have internally in 4 separate accounts. So it is a $1.4 million Keck Foundation Award that is a part of their science and engineering research grant. So again, this one was simply notated as questionable because it was notated that it could be duplicate. So the other 3, so the other portion of this award is on the over 250.
So the award, I don't have an issue with the research itself, but part of what we look at is the primary purpose and the over 50% and internal splits shouldn't be showing up in these because that is kind of running afoul of those things. So again, I'm not questioning, this looks completely like research, but
yeah, and I think next time, and that was just administratively on my end, next time I'll just make a note to just list it all in the singular award instead of have the 4 individual awards on our end. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, because I always combine all of our sub-projects into one report.
Yeah, because it's exactly, yeah, that's just an administrative error on my end.
Yeah, because it's pointed out in the SAM as well. You know, you don't want to appear to be splitting awards to go under the 250. So
right, exactly.
Yeah.
Is there any more discussion of that award? Okay, should we move to take a vote? If you do not agree that this is an acceptable award, please say so. Sounds like, yeah, hearing none.
Hearing none, that will 142040, University of Texas is considered restricted research.
Moving to the next award, 142085.
All right, so this is a PGA Foundation Award for Dr. Walker, and what they are doing is evaluation and analysis. So the Research Foundation has requested a better understanding of effectiveness to their own scholarship programming. And so they have requested UNT to do evaluation and do some mapping of the current scholarships and then provide analysis in how they can maximize some of their impact and diversity. 100% of the budget is allocated to these research activities.
Any discussion? Questions? All right, well, hearing none, is there the will of the committee to deem it restricted research? It sounds like so. Anyone opposed, please say no.
No, are we talking about 142085?
Yes, for Walker.
The
for
majority,
50,000.
the majority already had it as accepted.
No, it was it was just shy of 1. So 15 votes would have made it acceptable.
Oh, forum. Okay, got it. Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
All right.
I have
any
no problems
opposition?
with this. I make a motion accepted as research.
Okay, any opposed? Hearing none, this one will be deemed acceptable. Okay, let's move to the next one, 142123.
All right, so Dr. McFarland has been requested by Linwood University to provide analysis for some samples in a blinded manner for some acids using some of his methods. He's also been requested to provide the written methods and providing that analysis and results to the organization. 100% of the budget is research activities.
So this is all evaluation?
So it's analysis, evaluation, providing the written methods, and then providing those results.
That sounds like research to me.
Second.
Thank you.
All right, anyone opposed? Okay, we will deem that restricted research. Moving to the next one, 142125.
And I am going to have my colleague Deanna chat about this one.
Hello, Deanna Oliveira. I represent the University of North Texas Advancement Office. This one was for a grant that restored prairie land out at the Louisville Lake. It also, in conjunction with that, they do research on the best methods to restore the savanna. They also research the life, the bio ecosystem that's living out there with their graduate research students. And then they disseminate this through different classes, through the community and things of that nature.
All right, any discussion of this item?
What SAM designation would you use?
I should have that up. I do not have that with me.
You mentioned this was a gift?
It is a
Yeah,
gift.
the system you've cited to 1.2.1.
Thank you very much. Yeah, this was a gift from a sponsor. It is the North Texas Communities Foundation.
Do you include the donor's letter in your uploads?
I included the application. It was a grant application that we applied for. It does not have a corresponding gift letter, but it is included.
I make a motion to accept it.
All right,
Second.
thank you. Is there anyone opposed to deeming it restricted research? Okay, we will assume it is now approved.
Thank you.
All right, so let's move to 142146.
All right, so this is a small award for Dr. Amy Anderson, and it's really similar to, we consider our RN a consultancy. And so what she's being requested to do is be a part of a research board. And one of her main tasks is completing evidence-based reviews. And so it notates in the contract that she's going to be doing program reviews, using it's again just her research expertise, practice reviews, resource reviews, model and population reviews. She's also going to be assisting in authoring. She's providing technical assistance and doing some product development. And so it's part of a Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention program. It's a it's National Mentoring Resource Program, and she's considered the researcher on our end. They are requesting established researcher with mentoring and youth development expertise to serve as a research board member and support the research to practice work on this Juvenile Injustice National Resource Center. And so the $6,000 is for her salary support during the academic year in her research load.
I make a motion to approve as restricted research.
I second.
Okay, is there anyone opposed? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Can I ask a favor? Rather than have the spreadsheet, which we all have, is there a way we can actually pull up each individual award that's in the online database? It would be really helpful because that way we can see the sponsor and everything else as the individual is discussing it.
Right, the portal. I'd like that.
Yeah, you did that in the past. It's very helpful.
No, see, I don't know if you want to see mine or yours.
you're tracking the decisions, then I can.
You can just show that.
I'll try to show for it, but
Yes.
remember, I don't have
I
that.
think, no, that's fine. You just showing the awards. You can still, I think you can still sort it by institution.
That would be very helpful, sorted by institution. This way my eyes won't get so blurry.
So what institution are we at then?
We're in,
University of Texas
North-
Rio Grande.
Rio Grande Valley.
okay, yes. Rio Grande Valley, yep.
Okay, and the ID number,
142236.
all right, 142236. Is this helpful?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
for the notes.
Thank you so much.
So, good morning, everyone. The question that was posed on this was, is this a pass-through? And so the answer is yes, this is a pass-through. This is a small planning grant. But the goal of the planning grant is to establish a foundation for the convergence and inclusive problem solving across researchers, practitioners, stakeholders through transdisciplinary research aimed at addressing complex problems from the lens of social needs. Several activities include travel, stakeholder meetings, data collection, and preliminary experiments. The experiments will be related into two groups of activities related to the exploration of residents' priorities and adaptive behaviors. Activities related to systematically collecting existing engineering plans, reports, data, and stakeholders' views on the needs of strategies to reduce risk and avoid future hazard impacts. The investigation will include the development of area-wide, highly detailed watershed boundary delineations using LiDAR. And additionally, this planning grant will generate broader impacts through outreach to activities, residents, and stakeholders.
Motion to approve as restricted research.
Second.
Okay, is anyone opposed? All right, it will be deemed restricted. Are you?
Thank you.
And
This would be
what do we have next?
Sam Houston State University.
142256.
Wouldn't you want to query on the less than 250?
Is this the correct award?
That's one of them, yes. This is Brian Loft from Sam Houston State.
Okay, we're on 142256.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. There are actually two questioned awards that did not reach consensus either way this morning on the Qualtrics survey, and they're both supporting the exact same project. And I know we want to try to vote on each individual award. I understand that, but I'm going to have to explain them in the context of each other. Here at Sam Houston State, just this fall semester, we changed the way that we host an orientation for incoming freshmen. And we developed a week-long mandatory residential orientation session that the full week before classes began in August. And both of these awards support the development, planning, and the research done on that new orientation program. The smaller of the two awards, not the description we're looking at now, the smaller of the two awards is a 100% research award. Every dollar is spent to support 2 faculty members and 2 graduate students to analyze a mixed methods pre and post 2-year-long research study on the effectiveness of the old orientation program to the new orientation program. The larger of the 2 awards, this one supports research, but in a less descriptive way. Let me explain what I mean by that. There are several faculty members on the planning committee and the implementation of this that are also named on the full IRB. So that's my explanation of these 2 awards.
Which 2 are you alluding to?
The only 2 that Sam Houston State has on this, the lower than 250. This is the larger, the one we're looking at right now. It's an award from THECB.
Brian, this is Katie from Angelo State. The Trellis one, I'm not as worried about because that one was designed for research.
Yes.
This one is HERF funds. It's the governor's emergency relief funds. And I'd like to see a budget for this before I'd be comfortable with 2256.
Okay.
And I concur with that, and I'd like to see that it's 51% or more. It's research.
Okay. Is that something that is available in the call, or do we need to table this and I submit it later?
If you want to table and bring information back to the meeting, that is an option.
I have a question. How do we bring back documentation? Are you going to open the portal up so we can upload it again, or are we going to share our screen with you, or?
I do believe you could share screen if you.
I think that would be good. I think if you have a budget that you'll be able to share the screen, then we'll have to table it. The institutions can see what you have.
Okay.
Okay.
So what would work for you?
I can share.
Okay.
Give me 1 second though. I'm the one who's Zoom freaked out, so I'm on a laptop right now, but I'm also looking on something else. So give me 1 second. I'll be able to pull up that budget.
This might be a good time to get a quick biohazard break while he's getting that.
That's fine. You want to take a 5-minute break? Is that what? Okay, let's
Yes,
do a 5-minute
please.
break. Okay.
Thank you.
Of course. All right, is everyone back with us? Okay. Mr. Loft, are you prepared to share?
I am.
We have most of our people.
We'll need to unshare this screen before I can share mine.
Oh, thank you.
And if you are, make sure that if you are in the meeting, you have your video on, please.
Video off or on?
On, I'm sorry.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna stop sharing. Hopefully you should be able to.
Okay. Sorry for the small font. It's a 1-year program from THECB. Again, this particular part of the budget, this $240,000 is supporting the implementation of the research that was done on the other award that we were talking about, the Trellis Award. So on its own, I don't think I would push very far for this to be restricted research, but since it's so closely tied to a research project, like if this was on the same, if both of these budgets were together on the same award, I would also think it wouldn't be very questionable.
I don't see the 51% threshold being hit with this budget personally on the restricted research side.
Mm-hmm. This funds 2 full-time staff members for a year, a lot of faculty to help with implementation, and then 2 graduate students. Again, these are all in support of the implementation of the program on which the research is conducted. There's nothing else on the bottom. So yeah, I'm just going to scroll down so you can see there's nothing else down there.
Brian, did you say there was not an IRB or is there?
There is an IRB, yeah, full IRB approval. It's not exempt.
Ryan, you indicated that if it would have been combined with the other one, which the other one does appear to be research, but that is not 50. The other one is not 51% of the total either. So it would be still less than 51% if I'm reading this right.
Right. Well, that's if the full budget on the one we're looking at now is not considered research. But I mean, if I'm going to fund a research project or propose a research project, and implementation is part of that research project, I would consider that part of the research project.
On the IRB piece, because I do see these have different start dates, did you have 2 separate IRBs for both projects, or did you have a substantially amended IRB for the second one to tie them in?
It was amended, yes. I know that because I was the PI on the Trellis Award in a previous position here at SAM. Yeah, I guess I should have started with that. Full disclosure, I'm the PI on the other one that's under review.
Are there any other questions or discussion? Shall we move forward on a vote? So let's vote on who would be in favor of deeming this as restricted research. Or
not.
Who would not be in favor of deeming this restricted research? If you're not in favor, please put your hand up. Okay, so let's see.
Now we need a roll call vote. So we'll go through the list.
So it looks like we're gonna do a roll call vote. And
Yeah.
Okay, so, Mr. Spencer, can you just say yes or no?
No,
Mr. Pierce,
No.
Dr. Reichard,
Yes.
Dr. Iyer,
Again,
oh, wait. I'm sorry, we didn't hear you.
could you please repeat the questions, the two questions?
Yes, we're asking, do you think this project is restricted research, yes or no?
Yes,
Okay, I'm gonna give the institution name instead, that would be easier. Texas A&M Central Texas,
oh, no.
Texas A&M Corpus Christi,
No.
Texas A&M Kingsville,
Yes.
Texas A&M San Antonio,
Yes.
Texas A&M International,
Yes.
West Texas A&M,
No.
Texas A&M Commerce,
No.
University of Houston Victoria,
No.
Midwestern State,
No.
Texas Southern, Texas Southern, are you with us still? Okay, moving to Angelo State,
No.
Texas Women's University,
No.
Lamar University, Lamar University. Okay, moving to Sam Houston State.
Yes.
Sul Ross,
No.
UT Arlington,
Yes.
UT El Paso,
It's a hard call. I say yes.
yes. UT Dallas,
Yes.
UT San Antonio,
Yes.
U of H,
No.
University of North Texas,
Yes.
Texas Tech,
No.
Texas State,
If we're undecided, can we say undecided? Undecided.
so. Yeah, okay, yes. I think that was everyone.
Is everyone?
Yeah.
So, we have 21 yays. We have 23 nays. We have 1 undecided and 2 not voting. Based on the vote, the award 2256 will not be considered restricted research.
Thanks, everyone, for voting. I was not expecting this to be this,
Controversial.
yeah, well, yeah, this close at least. But
I
anyway,
have-
thanks everyone for voting and considering it.
I do have a question though, in a case like this where it's super close and there are two that haven't even voted. Is this not worth tabling if necessary to muster more information? We've been tabling 3 of them now, so maybe not. I'm okay if not, but I'm just asking.
In the past, have you always taken votes based on who's actually present at the
Yes.
moment?
Who's present?
We have, that's what we did last time. Last time we did it by whoever was present on the vote and whatever vote tally we had, we used during the last
All right.
transparency process.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
So that one there, we'll go to, I think the next one is 142263. Oh, no, is that right? Yes.
263, one moment.
Isn't it 265?
I'm sorry, you're right, 265. I'm sorry.
All right, Mr. Loft, did you want to speak to this one? Any additional information? Sam Houston State, are you still with us, Mr. Loft? He might have left for a moment. I see his picture up, but not him.
This one looks like research.
Yeah, I concur that this is more of the research component than the former one.
All right. Is
Yes,
there any more
it's part of
debate?
that same Trellis program that was research on mental health that matches that.
Concur.
Any more discussion? Okay, it sounds like you would deem it restricted research. Does anyone oppose deeming it restricted research? Does anyone oppose it? No, okay, I think we have a vote for
2265.
2265 being deemed restricted research. Okay. Is there anything else for Sam Houston?
I'm back, by the way. I didn't get to go on my bathroom break because I was looking for that screen.
Understood. We just voted, well, the committee just voted and deemed your 142265 as restricted research.
Okay, thank you.
Look what you missed out on.
That was easy.
Anything else for Sam Houston?
That's it.
Okay. Who's next?
Texas State.
Had two to,
Two, yes,
is that right? Two to discuss, is that right?
correct. Yes, Dr. Roundtree.
Okay, so Huff was a strange one. I think that one of Huff's, there are two different tranches of funding from this funder. One of which this group approved as research, one did not. So I'm not sure what happened. Maybe there was a mistake, maybe there was a misunderstanding that perhaps this was a second or like a repeat or a duplicate. It is not. These are two different tranches of funding. We're talking about Huff now, aren't we?
Yes,
I'm sorry.
142479, correct?
I don't see it on the screen.
Let me pull it. 1422.
Anyhow, it's the Glow Living Shoreline Program.
2479.
Is this not the Huff? Am I wrong?
No, that's correct. It's by Ms. Anna Luella. Oh,
Right. So there are two Huffs. The first is 142476. That one was approved as research. Very same project, two different tranches of funding from this funder. The second one, 142479, was not deemed funding, was not deemed research. It's the very same program, two different tranches of funding from this funder. So they are responsible for providing expertise in scientific communication and scientific engagement practices, website design, reports, conference proceedings. I think in my description for the answer that I gave, it's not here, but I should have included their research methods that include user testing, user experience research methods. They do web accessibility audits and communication research methods like rhetorical analysis, audience analysis, and dissemination includes reports and website deliverables. So I'm not sure. I think probably what happened was the group thought that these two, like one was a duplicate but they're not, they're two different tranches, same program, two different tranches of funding.
I can tell you why I decline this as restricted research, which is based on the note that says the awarded funds will maintain the website. And that was my issue with this because that's not restricted research.
Right, but the explanation I gave prior, it described all of the research methods that I just detailed.
Why
Also,
choose to
this
bid on?
project- Also, this project is similar to work that Huff has done with this very same funder that was approved in fiscal year 22, 99694. Again, with an online toolkit. And also in fiscal year 2019, 80574 and 80584. Those are both approved. She does the same work with different web products and digital products for this funder.
You could bring up her abstract.
Are you able to? If not, I'll have to show it myself.
I'm gonna see if I can bring up the abstract.
Yeah, you might be able to. I thought I included, yeah, there it is right there. That's it. So the other thing I thought is, in addition to it being, they're both the same project, two different tranches of funding. One was approved, one wasn't. I thought also maybe it should have been a 1.1.7 because they are doing work with an industry collaborator, but the only work that they're doing for them involves these qualitative research methods.
All right, is there any more discussion?
So this abstract is related to another project?
There were two projects. Do you mind too terribly showing the questioned list, the list that you sent us from the Qualtrics?
No, let's see. You mean this one? Oh, it's not showing. Hold on.
And I'm happy to, I mean, if everyone feels like it's necessary to do, I'm happy to combine them and call it 10K, or I don't think that that's appropriate because there were two different tranches of funding from this funder.
What is tranches?
Two different awards.
I would vote on one, but not the other, because I'm.
You scroll down, right? So actually scroll up a little. I just saw it. Nope, well, maybe it's down. There it is. So this one is the same one that was not fall. We're on Huff now. That's right. So there was a second Huff that this group approved as research in this review period. These are both the same project, but the person was awarded two $5,000 awards. One of the awards, this group, my esteemed colleagues, deemed research, and one they did not. But it's the same project.
All right, shall we look at taking a vote? Is there anyone who does not vote that this is restricted research? Anyone who would say no?
I would say yes to one and no to the other.
If they're both, I have a question for my colleague. If they're both the same project, one is yes and one is no, if they're doing the same work, which is user experience and rhetorical analysis of scientific communication.
It's the own description, you know, the
They're
first
both-
one that is yes has research elements in it to where you want to say yes. And then the maintenance of a website is not research. There's no new knowledge being applied, although you call it two different funding opportunities, right? That makes it even more that we have the option of saying yes to one and no to the other, because
Both the same project, and I actually copied and pasted and used the very same description for both.
So you're talking about both is 479 and 482?
Correct.
So we're taking one
I
at a
think
time.
it's 12479 and 12476. That's not shown because it was in the It had got acceptable. It was marked green, so that's why probably it's not showing up here. I don't know if you can restore the ones that were shown in green, so we could look at the line that has 142476.
Yeah. The only thing that that Dr. Huff is doing is using rhetorical analysis, a qualitative research method, user experience and usability testing, both of which are research methods to improve the design and the messaging of the website.
So here you can see them next to each other. One that was approved and one that was not. Correct?
Yes, so let's just take the vote.
All right, so let's take a vote. Anyone who does not deem this award 479 as restricted research, please say so.
I do not support it.
Nor do I. UH.
Okay, so we'll need to take a roll call vote. All right, please say yes or no when I call your university name. UT Rio Grande,
Yes.
UT Permian Basin,
No.
UT Tyler,
Yes.
Texas A&M Galveston, excuse me, that they're not present. Tarleton State,
Yes.
Texas A&M Central Texas,
Yes.
Texas A&M Corpus Christi,
No.
Texas A&M Kingsville,
Yes.
Texas A&M San Antonio,
Yes.
Texas A&M International,
Yes.
West Texas A&M,
Yes.
Texas A&M Commerce,
Yes.
University of Houston, Victoria,
No.
Midwestern State,
Yes.
University of North Texas at Dallas. Sorry, they're not present. Moving to Texas Southern. Texas Southern. Angelo State,
Undecided.
Texas Women's,
Yes.
Lamar University,
Yes.
Sam Houston State,
Yes.
Sol Ross,
Yes.
UT Arlington,
Yes.
UT Dallas,
Yes.
UT El Paso,
No.
UT San Antonio,
Yes.
University of Houston,
No.
University of North Texas,
Yes.
Texas Tech,
Yes.
Texas State.
Yes.
Based on the vote, we have 20 votes for yes, 5 votes no, 1 undecided, and 1 not voting. That award for 142479 is restricted research.
Yes. So now we're going to the fall, is that correct?
Now we're going to, yes, Dr. Kevin Fall, 142482.
So this is a distribution from an endowment that's used to provide scholarships to graduate students in the Master of Education program for Student Affairs in high school and higher education, or the SEHI program. I checked with Dr. Fall and he said that the funds are used for activities involving training, for the completion of a thesis and capstone research projects, as well as for travel for these students to participate in research conferences pertaining to their theses and capstone research projects. So let me see here. I think I might have mislabeled it. So maybe it should be a 1.3.2 or a 1.4.1.
Is there any discussion of this project?
Is there a donor agreement by chance or abstract that's been uploaded with us?
I haven't uploaded that, but I've asked for it. So maybe we could table it until my university advancement uploads it as well.
Well, this was at the link, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been waiting for my university advancement colleague to send me this memorandum of understanding. She hasn't sent it yet, so if y'all could just allow me to table it and receive that information from her.
I think that would be helpful, yes.
Can do.
All right, this one will be tabled. So what are we on?
We're on now. Nope, Salt Ross State, that's next one is Prairie View, A&M University.
All right, Prairie View A&M looks like 142610.
142610.
Yes, sir.
May I pause for a second? I just received an email from my colleague. May we go back to that one award and I think we can clear it off the plate. I apologize.
It's too long for it.
All right. So that was 142482. Is that the one?
That was 142482, sorry. Yes, that's correct. Dr. Fall.
Yes, I do apologize. I literally just received this email. So let me
So I'll
down.
stop sharing if you would like to share.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
Let's see here. Let me make it larger for everyone. This gift, along with other collected gifts, shall be combined as established as a permanent graduate research scholarship endowment. The Dr. Joanne Smith, who is one of my favorite academic affairs and student affairs administrators for graduate research. So this is this is devoted to their capstones and their theses.
I'm good with that.
Yes. All right, any additional discussion? Okay, this is proposal to deem it restricted research. Anyone oppose? Any no votes? Okay, I think that one will be deemed restricted research. So then we were moving back to the UT Permian Basin?
No, Prairie View.
Prairie View, excuse me. Actually, do we have anyone with?
Yes,
Prairie View? Okay.
yes, you do. I
Okay.
apologize for joining late, but I did not have the link for the
Oh, I'm
Zoom
sorry.
meeting. My name is Bobby Melvin.
He was here.
Yeah, the four that are listed there, starting with the first one, they're all the same. They're all task orders under a blanket NASA agreement we have to enhance and test their TRIC simulation environment, which is a development program that they use to build applications for the space vehicle development. So the first one that you're looking at you just identified is probably the problem was the summary. I did not prepare those summaries, but I saw the summary and it just talked about software and hardware, but it's each task, and this one was task 41, requires the development of a math model package known as SimWorld, and then to provide technical support for the integration of the SimWorld into the TRIC simulation environment. So that was the development includes software repositories comprising math models that they have to develop and verified simulations for the mobile servicing system.
I'm
You
good
have
with this as
abstract?
restricted research.
Do you have any documentation and abstract or anything that sort we could look at?
I can show you the task thing from the task order information. Well, I say that. Let me caveat that. I have that information.
If you don't have it in the moment, we could give you a moment.
I have it. It's just being able to share it with you. I'm not necessarily the best at that.
So if you bring it up on your screen and you go to your Zoom window, there's a green button at the bottom that says share screen, and then we'll give you some options if you have several screens, but then you pick the one that you want to share.
This one was 41.
What ratio? 610. Yeah, run 142610.
Yeah, I have it. Now do what now?
The
Shared
bottom, there's-
screen?
Yes, sir. It'll give you options and you pick the one that has the document.
Is that working?
Very good. Just working.
Yes.
Is more than 50% of the funding dedicated to student research internships?
All of it is. $28,000 of it.
I move that we accept this as research.
Second.
All right, is there anyone opposed to accepting it as restricted research? Okay, we will deem this as acceptable.
And that's all 4 of them, right?
So we have to take them one at a time.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're all the same type scenario, but different ones.
All right, if the
So-
committee is comfortable with that, should we move forward? We could identify the ID number of, the next one is 142611.
Right.
Is there anyone who would be opposed to accepting it as restricted research?
I can tell you that one. The specific development work on this is to I can show you that one as well. Software development for the hybrid electronic radiation assessor simulation model. Research and develop a tool to automatically provision virtual machines on a Windows device with little or no interaction from the user. So the
Any other
task is,
information needed by the committee?
I support this as restricted research.
I second that.
Okay, is anyone opposed? All right, that will be
Thank-
deemed acceptable.
Thank
Going
you.
to 142613.
39. This one is, the summary says the intern shall develop a new suite of unit test and simulation tests for TRIC data recording. The suite of tests will be incorporated into TRIC's larger set of continuous integration set of tests.
I propose we accept it as research.
Second,
Any opposed? All right, will be deemed acceptable. And the next one is 142618.
Yes, the last one is the interns required to configure a new server running an instance of Canonical Landscape on premise, the official management administrative tool for Ubuntu operating systems. Not sure what all that is, sorry. And then to validate that the operating system is certified by the vendor to allow centralized patch management using the tool. I don't know what Ubuntu is, but I'm assuming it's an operating system of some sort.
that one I'm a little bit more suspicious of, only because sounds like just, we're paying somebody to set up a server in order to facilitate the use of software.
I agree.
Ubuntu is it's a open source Linux based operating system.
Okay, thank you. I'll pretend like I know what that means as well.
So because it's open source, that means that it isn't research, or just because it's maintaining a piece of equipment that it isn't research?
I don't think it's the open source. It's my issue. It's the task that is being given is that this person is going to be spinning up a server. I mean, that's how I'm reading this.
So is
To
this,
facilitate software.
so this wouldn't be an equipment for the purpose of research?
Spinning up software is not equipment.
Yeah, I don't see the development in this one. I see installation of existing software.
Exactly.
Says will utilize the IP address management tool NetBox to generate domain name system records for the internal network.
So what is TRIC? Can you tell us what TRIC is?
Yeah, TRIC is a simulation environment developed by NASA that they use for all applications in their space vehicle development. It expedites, I'm reading from their summary, it expedites the creation of simulations for early vehicle design, performance, evaluation, flight software development, flight vehicle dynamic load analysis, and virtual hardware in the loop training.
Component, it's okay.
Could you share your screen on this one that we're talking about and showing like you have the others to show the actual work?
And also, if you have a budget, maybe perhaps per chance, it'd be cool to see.
This is 38.
While he's looking for that, can I just say, wouldn't this be under 114, the external funding to maintain facilities or equipment and or operation of a center or facility that would be used for R&D? I mean, it seems like a slam dunk to me. I'm not sure why we're belaboring this point.
That's what I thought as well.
You have
That's the budget. These four are 4 of 40 some that we've received already.
One other question about the what was that SAM number that you mentioned, the one for equipment and maintenance of
114.
114.
I would support this.
And
would
or
support this one.
operation, so operation could include the people who have to maintain okay, thanks. That's all I want.
And the software.
Yeah, here's the language I was reading to you. I apologize for not understanding completely the SAM requirements. I tried to look at them this morning because I was volunteered for this. We're undergoing a complete reorganization of our office sponsored programs, so. Create a design for automatic generation deployment of these records. That's why we consider it to be research.
All right, is there any more discussion on this item? Perhaps we should take a vote. I'll go this direction. Is there anyone who does not think this is restricted research? Okay, so no one is in opposition to this as being restricted research. All right, then that is approved.
Thank you.
Next is Tarleton State University.
Okay, Tarleton State is next. Looks like award number 142643.
Yes, may I go ahead?
Please.
So these are two different awards, as you will see, by the same funder, the Texas General Land Office. These are student research internships, and the students will assist with data collection, compilation, organization, data and database analysis, modeling, GIS analysis, and map development for various community development and revitalization projects for the GLOW office. But they're not limited to housing, economic revitalization, etc., etc. So students will work with the General Land Office staff and department members to learn disaster recovery and assist in development, implementation, and administration of these projects for the state of Texas. This includes conducting analysis, aid in developing reports, generating new research reports and research projects, and other technical developments. And the generation of new knowledge will help the Texas General Land Grant Office to make informed decisions regarding the variety of the different community development and revitalization programs. I would also like to add that last year, the similar project by UTSA's GLOW Award 2626 was also supported. So if you guys have any questions, I'd be happy to answer that.
I'm supportive of this as restricted research.
Yes, I too.
I second.
Okay. Is there anyone who does not agree that this is restricted research? All right, that one will be deemed, that was 142643. It's restricted research. The next one, I think it's 142644.
Right. It is a different but similar project at a different semester. But the project is the same as I explained earlier.
Again, supportive of this as restricted research.
Second.
Is anyone opposed to this being restricted research? All right, sounds like it's unanimous. That one will be restricted research. That was 142644.
Next is Texas A&M University, Kingsville.
So this one we had withdrawn, and it's still up there. So
I'm sorry, I think there were only two for Tarleton State, and now we're on Texas A&M Kingsville. Okay.
oh, okay. Thank you, guys.
All right, so for Kingsville, we have award 142684, I believe.
Yes.
I'll get there in a second.
So this is a project. Can I start?
All right, I think we're here.
Okay, thank you. So this is a project funded by the United States Department of Agriculture. And basically the project focuses on growing the capacity of online teaching, improving quality of online learning, and providing engaged research, and increasing mental wellness and readiness for engineering and science minority students. The project is centered on improving faculty and students' quality of work in STEM curricula and mental readiness to 3 core activities in the project. As the project director mentioned, is online learning and teaching enhancement, hybrid summer research bridge, and mental wellness and readiness preparation programs. The project targets 3 key food and agricultural sciences areas. One is on artificial intelligence and big data related to agriculture, soil and water conservation and improvement, and distributing of food and agricultural products. The PIs are the mentors for the students who are funded through this award, and they work on different projects in the areas that I just mentioned. And basically, they have their own research questions for the projects that they are working on. The students are supported through stipends coming from the award to work on these research projects, and the stipends are provided to high school students, undergraduate students, and graduate students to support them to work on these projects. There is an IRB approval protocol for this grant, and all of the PIs, co-PIs budgeted salaries are for supporting the time and effort to work with students on research projects. Also, there is some student travel in the budget, and that is available to the students to present their research results in conferences, as it has happened in the past. So there are already 2 publications coming up from this project, and they were presented in the Institute of Industrial and Systems Engineers annual conference in 2023. One related to technical feasibility analysis of agrivoltaic systems for energy cane farms in Texas, and the other one is related to a study of Texas wind speed profiles for determining optimal wind turbine applications by regions. And as I can see, this budget, at least 50% of the budget is dedicated for research.
Are there any questions?
Can we see the budget, please?
You have the budget and you're muted. I'm putting up the abstract.
Oh, yes. No, the budget is not there, but I have it here available. So,
I'll stop sharing.
so this is the budget. So the SAL faculties participating in this project are 5 faculty members. They are the mentors for the students who work on these specific projects in different areas related to agriculture. And there are student stipends, travel for the students to conferences, publication costs as well, included in the budget, and the stipends for the students who will be supported under this award. Do you have any questions?
I make a motion to approve it as research.
All right, we have a motion to approve it as research. Do we have a second?
A second.
All right. Is there anyone opposed to deeming this as restricted research? Okay, looks like it's unanimous. Be restricted research.
Thank you.
Sir, the next one would be 142696, I believe.
Yes.
Bring it up.
Again, so this project is funded through the U.S. Department of Agriculture. And this project is in collaboration with UT Arlington and New Mexico State University. And it has been previously approved as research and with project number 100783 when it was presented back in 2019. And basically, this project is related with climate smart agriculture. Basically, we are developing different course contents and curriculum in which we are teaching climate smart agriculture, different topics, different contents, including data analytics as well. And these, the courses that we are developing basically is shared among the institutions. We also have a research workshop meeting every year, and along with USDA federal agencies. For this project, the main federal agency with which we are collaborating is the NRCS, the Natural Resources Conservation Services, where students are placed every summer. So basically, the students work with us during the academic year, and then they learn different research techniques, data analysis, and then they are placed in NRCS over the summer, where they work with engineers in the NRCS location, and they are working on different projects. So this is the third year of the grant. And it has previously been approved and coded as restricted research.
I make a motion to accept it as research.
Second.
Right, we have a motion to approve. Does anyone object to this being restricted research? Okay, sounds like it's unanimous. That was project 142696. The next one is 142714, and I would suggest perhaps after that one, we could take another quick break.
714, yes.
All right, so 142714.
Same, Kingsville. You want to take a break? Do you want me to start?
Perhaps let's do this one and then yours would be done.
Okay, this is a project that was funded through the 100K Strong in the Americas program. Basically, this project, the main objective is to establish research and educational collaborations with international institutions. In this case, the country that was targeted by the Department of State was Brazil. So basically, we extended some of the current research that we're working on data analytics, and we developed some online tools and curriculum on data analytics and entrepreneurship. So we partnered with a strong university, from Brazil, who is strong on entrepreneurship, and they have won different awards in Brazil. That's the Instituto Federal Goiano, which is located in Goiânia, Brazil, as well with a university that works a lot on applied research and technology for agriculture. That's Senai. So basically, during this past year, students from TAMUC and students from Brazil worked together on different research projects related to data analytics and entrepreneurship. And again, these funds supported most of the activities for the students and faculty to travel to Brazil, and for Brazilian students and faculty to travel to Kingsville. The participants were 8 students, 2 were from two PhD students, 2 Master of Science students, and 4 undergraduate students. So basically, all this program revolved around data analytics and entrepreneurship. And among these activities, the students visited different research facilities in Brazil. They visited as well one of the largest expos regarding technology and applications on agriculture, and where basically they are working on simulators like for agriculture, drone technology. And when we had or hosted as well the visitors, well, the students continued working on projects, and as they visited as well some research facilities, and they visited, or we all visited, the Austin Technology Incubator Center. So that's basically in a nutshell this project. It sounds easy to mention, but it's very complicated to implement. The projects in which the students are still working, there are two main projects, one related to a sheep health prediction tool, where they are developing a software to determine the health level of livestock and provide the best means of action, and putting farmers' minds at ease using sheep fecal data. And the other one is a pest management tool, where they're working on a decision-making tool to allow producers to report pest populations and damages on their property to analyze and predict future trends using image recognition tools. So that's this award.
I recommend this to be accepted.
That sounds good, but just a quick question, what you linked to for your abstract doesn't match that at all. So I just wanted to verify this is not the correct abstract for this project, correct?
The abstract was updated, and what I am the main PI for this project, so I know what we did. And this, I think, was just copied pasted. And it's not Department of Agriculture, and it's not for 20 million. This is just 32,500. So there is a typo there.
I second after the typos are corrected.
Yes, there are typos. Even the agency is 100K strong in Americas.
I second that it is restricted research.
Okay, we have a motion and a second that it's restricted research. Is anyone opposing that it be restricted? Counted as restricted. All right, sounds like no opposition, so that award.
Thank you.
Restricted research, sir. So perhaps would folks like a 10-minute break, or you can tell me what works for y'all? 10's good? Okay, so let's come back at 11:15. 11:15, thank you. All right. But we are going to Texas Tech.
We're at Texas Tech.
So let's start with Texas Tech. Looks like award 142865.
Yes, so Dr. Pavlik's award. I'll tell you the objectives of this project is to create a standardized data set so that the effects of educating disadvantaged juveniles while providing personalized mentorship support can be quantified. In the project, they're going to explore the program's effects on both economics, so income, employment, etc., and social, crime, marital status, etc., outcomes for the for participants. The findings will be, well, let me tell you this first. The research questions include: does education at the high school level improve socioeconomic outcomes? Does mentorship improve socioeconomic outcomes? The results of the study can be used to inform policy debates and help policymakers design and/or fund programs that better serve our nation's youth. The mentorship aspect of this project is very unique and could potentially provide insights on how to best help those young individuals that come from disadvantaged backgrounds. The findings will be presented in reports as well as academic conferences. This does have an approved IRB. A lot of the money is basically the PI, Dr. Pavlik. Most of the money goes to support her, as well as developing the surveys that they'll be used in questioning and getting information back from participants during the project or pre-project as well as post-project.
Say it's research.
Okay, we have a motion that is research.
Second.
Thank you. Is there anyone opposed to this being deemed restricted research? Okay, sounds like it's unanimous. So the next award
Yes.
is 142905.
Yes, this is an award from Dr. Fedler. This is a previously approved project. That number was 2019-79418. It's passed through funding from the Environmental Protection Agency, and the scope of the project specific to monitoring and assessing air quality has not changed. This is actually, we have it kind of tied together. It's a continuing project.
Do you have an abstract on that we could see?
Let me see here real quick. I'm sorry. I brought up the other one, have ready, and now I need to get this one. Actually have, it's the agreement. Yes.
Are you still searching?
Now, this is actually the scope of work and the contract.
I'm sorry, could you share your screen?
Oh, I thought I did. I'm sorry. Oh, I didn't hit share. There you go.
There we go. They're a part of the document we're interested in.
I just wanted to see, what they're gonna be doing. It's research.
Sounds like Ms. Garcia is proposing that it be research.
Let me know if you need anything else or if I need to scroll down farther. Or if I can make it bigger.
UH supports this as restricted research.
I second motion.
So we have a motion to approve. Is there anyone who would object to being this being restricted research? Okay, no objections. That was 142905. Okay. Next we have 142994.
We thought we previously withdrew this, as well as 142995. So that's withdrawn.
Thank you. All right, so I think we're moving to Texas Women's University with award 143002.
Okay, thank you. I also want to apologize because I think I was the TW research team and I were behind the 8 ball on some of our documentation. And once I got it up there, then missed the spreadsheet piece. So I'll walk through this as quickly as I can, hoping that was much of the confusion here. So with 143002, that was an NSF conference grant, and the I have the abstract in there, but I'm going to read you the purpose of this. It says the purpose of the NSF showcase for DO projects at the ACM SIGCSE Symposium. I'll read a few sentences. The Technical Symposium on Computer Science Education, organized by the ACM Special Interest Group on Computer Science Education, is one of the oldest ACM conferences and the SIGCSE flagship conference. This technical symposium addresses problems, and I'm reading something a little bit more common among educators working to develop, implement, and/or evaluate computing problems, curricula, and courses. And then the symposium provides a forum for sharing new ideas for syllabi, laboratories, and other elements of teaching and pedagogy at all levels of instruction, and goes on to say that the conference is held annually in North America and is the premier venue for computing education researchers to meet and disseminate their work.
UH supports this as restricted research.
Second.
Okay. Would anyone oppose this being counted as restricted research? All right, like a unanimous vote.
No opposing, but what is the SAM number?
142.
142.
Okay, do I carry on?
Yeah, so that was 143002 is approved.
Okay.
Moving to 004.
Correct. Okay. Our abstract here, do you want to pull this one up? This one is from the American Occupational Therapy Foundation. And you can read this here. This one also has a, on other info, I have, IRB approval was granted as of 9/15/2022, and I called this SAMS 1.1.1.
UH proposes this as restricted research.
Takes us 10 seconds.
All right. Is there anyone who would oppose this being counted as restricted research? Okay, sounds like we have a unanimous vote. That was 004. Right? Correct. Okay. We're moving to 005.
005. The next one is one of our nutrition and food sciences researcher did a study on evaluating benefits of tart cherry juice, or is doing a study on post-exercise response through biomarkers of inflammation, immune function, and circulating mycorrhiza in healthy sedentary young adults. And we see the abstract right here, and this one is the one I believe that the IRB is currently under review. And there are no restrictions on publication.
UH supports this as restricted research.
Second.
Right, is anyone opposed to this being restricted research? No, so that is accepted. We're moving to 143-006.
This grant is from the National Endowment for the Arts. This study is held at the Denton County Juvenile Probation Center. Will assess the effectiveness of a dance intervention aimed to improve the social and emotional health of teenage girls in detention. Results of this study could improve understanding of how arts engagement and education may contribute to recovery, recidivism, and rehabilitation for youth in detention. And we have a IRB that was granted as of 9/8/2022.
UH supports. Yeah, UH supports this as restricted research.
All right, we've had a motion and a second. Does anyone oppose this being restricted research? Okay, that was 143-006 for restricted research. Moving to 143-008.
Thank you. Will you pull up the abstract, please? So this project is to generate virtual patients with the ability to communicate using AI to prepare pre-licensure nursing students to develop high quality individualized nursing care. The purpose of this study is to compare the outcomes of students participating in unfolding case simulations incorporating AI to students participating in unfolding case simulations without AI. IRB approval for this project was granted on 6/22. Is that correct? Yeah, 6/22/2023.
ETSA supports this restricted research.
UH second.
All right, would anyone oppose counting this as restricted research? Sounds like it's a unanimous vote for 008. We counted. Moving to 143-009.
Okay, and so this study was a collaboration with the School of Public Health at UNT Health Science Center and the School of Dentistry at Texas A&M to develop and implement an evidence-based HPV vaccine training for clinical dental hygienists. And you see the information here, and I'm going to share, let's see. We have an IRB on this particular project that was granted 6/28/2022. I can pull up the budget, or the budget is for the researcher primarily, a clinical assistant, and that should be there as well.
Do you think this is more of an educational outreach? And the side product being the study?
Well,
That's kind of where my mind is going. It's training the dental people, the dental hygienists.
and they're collecting data on the dental providers' awareness of HPV and its link to oral cancer. Also, they're collecting data on their confidence in providing patient education about HPV vaccine and oral cancer, and also collecting data on their willingness to discuss the importance of the HPV vaccine to parents and the adolescent population.
So I get the data collection portion of this,
Yeah,
and I
but
can
is
see
that
where
the-
this could become something, but I don't see where we're doing anything beyond the education and collecting data.
I'd have to pull up the research questions and it would take me a minute, but I could.
That might kind of solidify everything rather quickly.
Can we come back to this one? So I don't waste.
So would you like to table, are we on 143009?
009. Mhm.
All right, all right, then moving to 143010.
Mhm. So this is from the United Cerebral Palsy organization, and this is an OT intervention. And let's see. The aim of this proposed project is to conduct a pilot hybrid type 2 implementation and efficacy study on therapy together with early childhood intervention using an explanatory mixed methods approach. And we do have an IRB on this one as well. Granted 9/15/2022. And our budget is the researchers, an FTE for the researchers, and that's in there as well. Participant supplies, participant incentives, therapist supplies, a blind rater, and translation. So
UH supports this as restricted research.
Second. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Would anyone object to deeming this restricted research? All right, that's 143010 is deemed restricted research. Now on.
So yeah, 143011 is for the Jean Dreyfus Lectureship for Texas Women's University, and I have the abstract is from the grant program. This proposal seeks funding for a Jean Dreyfus Lectureship at TWU. If funded, and it was, a high-profile scientist would be invited to a 2-day visit to TWU. During that time, the speaker will meet with students and faculty and present 2 lectures, one for the general public and one specific to chemistry. In addition, funds will be available to support 2 undergraduate students on a summer research fellowship.
UH supports this as restricted research.
We have a motion, is there a second?
A second.
Okay, thank you. Would anyone oppose this being counted as restricted research? It sounds like that was unanimous. 4011. Are we now on 143012?
Yes, and this particular project is the evaluation piece of an Office of English Language Acquisition grant at a different institution, and we are just doing this. This group is only doing the evaluation. 100% of the budget goes toward the evaluation.
UH supports this as restricted research.
Second.
Great. We have a motion for this is restricted research. Does anyone oppose? Okay. All right, the project will be deemed restricted research. That was 012. Moving to, I think, 013.
Okay, this one is an NEA grant that's pretty recent. This is a dance project, creating an evening of 3 solo choreographies assessed through the immersive digital medium of AR. This is an immersive and interactive experience as the digital performance allows the dance solo to be happening around the audience member. So you can see that. And let me pull up the budget. The budget was cut. Originally they had qualitative analysts in there, but I think that's in kind now. The budget is just for the faculty member, GRAs, and an accompanist. Oh, in addition to some lab experiences and food for participants.
What is the research aspect of this project?
Well, it's creative arts, and we've talked about that a lot. That this is research in their area. It's creative arts. It's a presentation.
Yeah, we've talked about that in the past where, you know, given the difference in the hard sciences versus this, but this is their version of going to a conference and presenting their research. UH would support this.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there anyone who would object this being deemed restricted research? Okay, I don't hear any objections, so that project will be deemed restricted research. And that was 013, I believe. Now we'll move to 015.
Okay, this one is funded from Texas Children's Hospital to gain an understanding of grief in parents of critically ill children and to determine the degree to which participation in parent support sessions decrease symptoms of grief. Over 70% of parents of children admitted to the pediatric intensive care suffer from PTSD, and parental dysfunction impacts child and family behavior and well-being. The budget for this is gift cards for participants. That is the budget. And there is an IRB that was granted on 8/8/2022.
What are
UH
they
supports this.
researching? Because it appears to be common knowledge that, of course, when you're grieving and dealing with a sick child, that you have a form of PTSD and it makes you dysfunctional, but those are all known facts. Where's the research?
Well, I don't actually have the survey questions, but if you need them, I can reach out and get them.
Also, they're conducting a survey.
Or a survey or an interview.
The research appears to be whether or not participation in the support groups decreases the symptoms of grief, not whether they have symptoms of grief.
UH supports this as restricted research.
Second. You mentioned that it has IRB, correct?
Yes, it does.
UTSA supports this restriction.
All right, we've had a motion and a second. Would anyone oppose this being counted as restricted research? Okay, it sounds like 015 is deemed restricted research.
The next one is 143016. The title of the project is called Black Women's Gendered Racial Identity Development Scale. The project uses Black feminist thought and intersectionality theory to construct the first intersectional gendered racial identity development of scale for Black women. Existing racial identity scales only measure gender identity and do not accurately capture intersectional identity development. Knowledge from previous scales and models will be utilized to create an intersectional scale with clinical and research implications, increase culturally competent mental health care practices, reduce negative mental health outcomes, and increase healthy identity development. This particular project, Dr. Williams has an IRB that was granted on 5/8/2023.
UH supports this as restricted research.
I second it. UTEP seconds it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there anyone who would object to this being restricted research? All right, project 143016 is restricted research.
And our next project is 143019. This was funded from the Texas Occupational Therapy Foundation. When measured with the self-report questionnaire of everyday behaviors that support planning, problem solving, and goal-directed behaviors, there are significant correlations with measures of independent living skills in young adults with ASD, autism spectrum disorder. The proposed study extends this research by exploring the relationship between executive functions and independent living skills for young adults with ASD, utilizing a performance-based measure of an occupation that requires executive function abilities. We anticipate that these results will have significant clinical and policy outcomes for OT assessment and intervention, and improving outcomes for young adults with ASD transitioning to independent living. And this study was Dr. Sullivan, IRB granted 2/3/2021, and has been and is still carries on.
UH supports this as restricted research.
UTRGV second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Would anyone object to this being restricted research? Okay. Was project 143019 is restricted research. Moving to the next.
And the next one is 143020. Professor Charlene Dickinson. Let's see. TWU Dental Hygiene met with faculty from UNT Health Science to address information collection needs and to determine documentation options within Eaglesoft, a software used by UNT Health Science Center for dental services. They then, in collaboration with TWU, determined the best approach for tracking HPV vaccine education, recommendation, and referral. Let's see. The best approach to tracking HPV vaccine referrals and follow up with patients to guarantee vaccine completion was determined. TWU staff also, let's see, collaborated to determine logistics for electronic health records and linking for future efforts related to tracking the impact of provider-focused education. Let me pull up the budget here. So this was a straight $2,000 grant requested to incentivize TWU dental hygiene clinic participation in the program and support technical changes made to the dental chart and access to data. And this project had IRB approval granted on 6/28/2022.
UTSA supports this restricted research.
UH seconds.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Does anyone oppose deeming it restricted research? Okay, no opposing. So 143020 is restricted research.
And our last one, except for the tabled, is 143021. This funding came from the North Atlantic Regional Association for Counselor Education and Supervision. The topic of diversity and inclusion draws great attention in the counseling field. However, the current composition of faculty members of counselor education programs is far from diverse. Limited attention is given to counselor to education from underrepresented backgrounds and their understanding of diversity and inclusion. So this study will use an interpretive phenomenological analysis to understand the essence of underrepresented faculty members' lived experience in counselor education from a phenomenological tradition. And this project had an IRB that was granted 5/23/2023.
UH supports this as restricted research.
Seconded.
We have a motion and a second. Would anyone oppose this being deemed restricted research?
Nope.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I'll get that other information.
You know, in light of what we just went through to approve, all these other projects, including the dentistry one, I think we should just right now address the table one again, because in light of what we just approved, it's just the way it was reported and talked about, so.
So the tabled item was 143009, correct?
Right.
Would you like to come back to that?
I would make a motion at this point to accept it as restricted research, and if you want to take it to a vote and get it done with, you know, like I said, in light of what we just went through on all the other projects, it's just missing a couple of key words.
And it was the same researcher.
Exactly, so we approved the $2,000 one, why not approve this one, you know? It's the same vein of things, there's a study, it's just not as explained as in the other ones.
It was funded by the MD Anderson Cancer Center.
Yeah, I would go ahead and I would say I support research on this for UTEP. But
I would second the motion to put it to a vote.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. Would anyone object to this being deemed restricted research, project 143009? And if you are objecting, it would be helpful for you to vocalize it, because I cannot see all of you in my screen at the moment. Okay, so I don't think I hear any objections. Sounds like 143009 is deemed restricted research.
Thank you all.
But you still have to stay on the call.
I'm not going anywhere, Manuela.
Okay.
All right, so next we would have University of Houston with project 143291.
Okay. So this is an award agreement. It's actually an American Heart Association predoctoral fellowship. In this study, we'll be examining whether NUM family proteins regulate the formation of cardiac fibroblasts by affecting epithelial mesenchymal transition or other cardiac fibroblasts. Differentiation during development. Also, we'll study whether and how NFPs regulate development of cardiac fibrosis in aging heart and adult cardiac injury models. The central hypothesis in this study is that NFPs regulate CF's differentiation during embryonic development, and cardiac fibrosis is aging and adult injured hearts. I can go on if needed.
Sounds like
Please
research.
don't. That's actually a question I have, right? This is clearly research. This is clearly restricted research based on the title and the funding source, etc. Why do we have to go to the pain of pronouncing things that I couldn't pronounce to begin with? You know, this is research. I make a motion. And
I
I'm-
second it.
Oh,
Musa.
I mean, yes, it came to questionable, but I questioned some of the questionables, but this is clearly research. you know.
I would just offer that the acceptable vote on this was 14, so it was just one shy of being accepted. But it does sound like we have a motion and a second to approve it. Does anyone want to vote against it being restricted research? Okay. Sounds like that is 143291 is restricted research. Moving to 143369.
Thank you. These two are very similar, but they are supporting different PIs. This first one is for Dr. McConnell, who will be assisting the PI with study design and additionally oversee and supervise the technical support for Rigololian and confocal laser microscopy portions in aim 2 of this proposal. He will work with the PI on matters of genetics, physiology, and pharmacology of intracellular, the signaling pathways involved in normal and pathophysiological conditions of the heart.
It's research.
It's
We
research.
have a motion and a second that is restricted research. Would anyone oppose counting it as restricted research?
No.
All right, thank you. So that was 143369.
And if it helps any, I will say, having read the next one, that 379 also appears to be research to save Chris some words unless anybody else, after having read it, doesn't believe it.
If that's a
And-
motion, I second it. From
And you were
Timothy.
referring to 370, is that correct?
379.
379.
379, yes.
All right, one moment. 379. Okay, so would anyone oppose deeming 379 as restricted research?
No.
All right, so 143379 is deemed restricted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
UT Arlington.
All right, University of Texas at Arlington. So we're gonna start with 143469.
143469. This is, sorry.
Sorry, it just took me a moment to get it pulled up.
Oh, okay.
You're welcome
I
to
guess
start.
my next question is, we have 6 minutes left in the meeting. Should we start with this or should we?
You should stop. Yeah.
That's a good point. Thank you for noting that. Yeah, perhaps this is a good time to stop. I want to thank all of y'all for being here today. Are there any questions or anything that's come up that you want to discuss before we stop?
I have just one request, if possible. I don't know if the system has been locked for people to upload documents, but that makes it a lot easier to make a quick decision if the documents are uploaded. So could I ask that if it's not been reopened, that it be so that people, especially with those larger 250K or higher, can upload their materials?
Yes, we'll certainly try to make that happen as soon as I get back to the office.
Yes, that'll be easier.
Many thanks.
Of course.
Many, many things, because we missed the boat on uploading our documents.
Okay.
I have a spreadsheet.
Try to get that open as soon as I get back, and hopefully this afternoon you'd have some time to put the documents in. Did you want to say something?
So I suggest that we start with Lamar University 141913 and 141918 tomorrow that were tabled. Then go into UTA's awards.
If I may, after further review, Lamar University would like to withdraw 141913 and 141918.
All right. We will
You're a
note that.
Chicago Bear fan?
I'm from Chicago.
Okay, I forgive you that.
Okay, those two items will show as withdrawn. And did we have any others that were tabled that we needed to come back to?
No, all of, well, we did, oh, no, I didn't, yes.
Okay. But then we would start with Texas Women's tomorrow?
No, University of Texas at Arlington.
All right. Okay, right.
I'm not sure if you want to talk about the
And
legislation.
we meet again this afternoon, or are we done
Well, we're done.
for the day?
If we had known how many awards there would be to cover, we might have tried to make this day longer initially, but we didn't. So we come back tomorrow morning, starting at 9 again. With UT Arlington, then we'll have, it looks like UT El Paso, UT San Antonio, Texas A&M Corpus, the rest of the list, UT Tyler and Texas A&M San Antonio. Yeah.
That started at over.
And then starting at the over 250. And in that list, I believe there's 44 that were undecided. If you decide to take the same approach with voting to accept all as yes or no from the survey and then focus on the undecided.
Well, on the over 250, it's the undecided and the no's that are up for discussion. That's what we decided earlier this morning.
Yes, we decided we would still discuss majority knows.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
and
thought we had already voted on, if it was acceptable, we would not discuss.
Right.
Right, okay.
Okay,
Some of those that were not restricted research in the survey have been withdrawn as well. So there will be maybe 10 or 12 that will be pulled out. All right, any other questions or comments?
Just do notice, I'm gonna unwithdraw some of my withdrawals. Because upon further research and support documentation. But it's only 2, I think.
Oh, it's only 2.
It's really up to the committee, I believe, how to handle that.
I'd say just when we get to her tomorrow, just know which ones are withdrawn and we'll take them off the list.
All right, I think that's everything unless anyone has other comments, questions.
No. Thank you for hosting this meeting, and again, welcome on board.
Thank you, thank you. And that reminds me that tomorrow morning when we begin, I'll kind of do a reminder on the recent legislation that's passed and the potential impact on restricted research. So we're kind of all on the same page.
I think
Going
that
forward.
sounds awesome. And have mercy on me. I'm in a different time zone, like 2 hours. I'm on
That's not
Pacific
easy.
time.
Okay. All right, well, hopefully we'll all have coffee by the morning. All
By
right,
the
thanks.
bucket.
Bye.
Everyone tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.
Jose, call me, Jose.
Yes, I'll call you. Bye.
Bye.